It's been a few days since I touched base with everybody, and there's a reason for that. Everything ain't always peaches and cream in the Philippines, and there's a few things you should know before coming here, and some of it I've had to learn the hard way by just being here. And I know you guys see me, I'm genuinely happy 90% of the time. I'm even happy now, but I have been sick as a dog, man, for about, I think this is like day number 4 since I went to the festival. I don't think it was anything to do with the festival. I'm just saying, when you're coming from a foreign country to when you're leaving your country to a foreign country, you're gonna be dealing with different pollens, different versions of the flu, if it's flu season, things of that nature. You got different pollens from the different plants. There's a million different things that I've researched to be like, what in the heck is wrong with me, man? Because my whole life, thank God, I've never been like one to catch colds or get sick or nothing like that. But coming to the Philippines, it's just a different environment, different climate. There's a million different things that it could be, and I've read everything I could read for the past few days in between sleeping my life away. You gotta be prepared for those things, and if you're coming alone, I can't imagine what it would be like if I didn't have April for the last few days. I probably would have just laid there and starved to death, which I pretty much did anyway, even though she prepared me food and stuff. I didn't feel like eating. And anyway, the point I'm trying to get to is when these things happen, you can always plan for the worst. Hope for the best, but expect the worst to happen. Because the first day, like whenever I really got pretty sick, was the day after our last day at the festival, which is, not a big deal, or so I thought. But the very next morning, there was a scheduled brownout, and the brownout was for 12 hours. So now I'm sick as a dog. There's a brownout, and the plans didn't matter. Oh yeah. And I was just sitting there editing this video, and I was thinking like, dang, I didn't even mention one of the major factors, dude. Like that saying, they say, when it rains, it pours. I guess you could tell by the background whenever I was out there, but the whole time the brownout was going on, we had some of the awfulest storms you've ever heard in your life. Well, I don't know where you've heard storms from, but that thunder, is that normal for here?
Yeah, it's normal, the lightning and thunder.
No, it shook the building, y'all. Like it for real, like the thunder was vibrating the room. I don't know if it was because I was sick or what it was, but like I was like, are we good? April.
Sometimes with the thunder, it's very loud.
Yeah.
You might be scared.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not scared of storms or anything like that, but at the same time, I was like, man, that don't sound like a normal storm that I'm used to. But this was all going on while the power's out. So it was just like a triple whammy for me. And I'm still like, obviously you can probably hear my voice. And on top of that, April, she's, man, first thing you need to do if you come to the Philippines is find you an April.
You're so sweet.
No, that's true. Even if you can't find you, I doubt you can find one as sweet as April. Mm-hmm. Find you a buddy, even if it's an expat. do that buddy system thing, because that's for real. That would come in handy. It depends, because it was raining. That was the reason I turned the camera back on, just to throw that factor in there, is because all I have is a scooter. All I have is the ADV, which is great ride, but it wasn't like light rain. It was one of those situations when you're sick, you don't want to even go outside in a drizzle, but it was a downpour. Like if the sun was up and when the drugstores would normally be open, I didn't want to go out there and get soaking wet and drive to the pharmacy, and I dang sure wasn't going to let April ride with me. And Filipinas are hard-headed. She's not going to let me go anywhere because I'm sick,
Yeah.
And she's scared to drive the ADV by herself.
I'm scared to drive the ITV.
She thinks it's too heavy, which
Yeah.
it may, I don't know if it's too heavy, but she is a little vertically challenged.
For me, it's big for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think it's heavy for me to drive that.
I think you could drive it fine. The only thing I wonder is if you could
Yeah,
like
very
hold.
short.
Yeah, because it does set a little higher than the Click for sure. Actually, a lot higher. It's probably, I haven't looked at the seat height on it, but it's got to be at least 5 inches, 4 inches taller than the Click, which is a lot. Whenever you're only,
It's
how tall are
I
you?
think because the clip is small.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm comfortable that clip.
like you.
Mm.
Did you understand what I said when I said vertically challenged?
Mm-hmm.
That means short, that's all.
Ah, I see. You're so sweet.
She said, you're so sweet. Anyway, I just wanted to throw that in there. So it was just like a bunch of things. But you know, I've said this in a lot of my videos, man, that everything happens for a reason. And I got to thinking about it, and April had mentioned it too, because she sees this as me working. Because I guess whenever I'm working, I put a serious face on. But really, it's because I'm blind. If I don't have my glasses on, I'm looking like this. But yeah. So I'm having fun doing it, and I don't realize how many hours that I spend sitting in front of the computer editing or dealing with camera issues. Because, you know, most of this stuff, I've got some of it down pat. Now, I feel pretty comfortable with some of this stuff. But for the majority of it, man, I'm still new. I'm learning. I'm still clicking buttons and saying, what does this do? And a lot of times that don't go as planned. But anyway, I just wanted to throw this portion in there. Back to the regular video. I do like making the videos, don't get me wrong. And I didn't realize that actually somebody had said in my comments, man, this was your 100th video. And I should have said something. That would have been a great thumbnail or something for the video. But I didn't even realize, because you have to, the only way you can see like your videos like that is to go to your regular YouTube channel. And I'm seriously new to all of this stuff. So the only thing I ever go to is YouTube Studio on my laptop. And it shows your content list, but it doesn't show like the number of videos that you have. So anyway, proud of myself for that. But at the same time, I didn't realize how much time I had invested into basically what a lot of people would consider work. But because it's fun to me, it's not really like work. Hold on, I'm being summoned. Oh, thank you. April probably don't want to be on camera this morning. It's like, what time is it? 6?
6:55.
Yeah, it's like 6. It's 6:55 a.m. and I haven't even slept. I've been up. I think I woke up about 7:30 p.m. yesterday evening, but this is after sleeping probably for a straight 30 hours. Anyway, the whole point of this is you got to prepare yourself. Like, I had someone ask me before, like, Joe, did you take any kind of vaccinations or anything before you came? And no, I didn't take anything. And I've never been one to go to the doctor, smart or not. That's just, I've never been accused of being a genius, by no means. But I didn't even think about none of that stuff because I've never been a sickly person. And I get angry because I feel like, dang man, why can't I lick this thing? And now that I've done enough research on it, I realize that's what it is. It's just my body. I mean, for 50 years, I was adapted to one environment and one environment only. I rarely ever traveled. And even when I did travel, I traveled to the Yucatan Peninsula in Mexico, which is actually still in my same time zone that I was at on the eastern seaboard in North Carolina. So it wasn't like a major change of environment. Honestly, the weather is about the same. The plants were almost the same. They might have had a few more tropical plants and stuff like that, but for the most part, I've been in the same environment for 50 years. And you don't really think about things like that. I'm sure you military guys are aware of that. If you've been, especially, well, I guess anybody who was based overseas anywhere, it's going to be a different environment. But if you was in the military, you had access to at least, you know, some friends, at least, you know, some other guys that you knew, you know, that might grab you a drink or something. And fortunately, I did have April. But I was thinking, like, for you guys that are coming over here, what if, like, my last 3 days would have been your first time here? Man, I'm telling you, I bet you that it's caught many people off guard and sent them packing right back on the plane, because the brownout's bad enough. And you don't really think nothing about it. The brownout actually wasn't that bad for me this go round, just because I slept through it anyway. But it ended up happening for 2 days in a row. Like, they had some stuff going on. The first day was a scheduled day. The second day was where things didn't work out the way that it was supposed to in this area. But the brownout was for pretty much the whole area until, you know, some of the stuff didn't get fixed in our area. So it prolonged, at least on my end of Darwin. And it might have just been a short area. I don't know, because we didn't leave the house. But these are some things that I believe would have deterred a lot of people, if, and myself included maybe, if I was here alone and I felt this bad and got this sick in my first week here, and then they had basically 24 hours of no electricity whatsoever. You know, and when there's no electricity, you can just cancel your phone signal unless you're in a big city. Even if you're in Dumageddon, if the electricity's out, most of the phone signals go away, because I don't really know for sure how that works, but I believe that even the cell phone towers need some power. And whenever they shut the grid down here, everything's shut down. Like, if your water is ran off of electricity in any kind of way, you don't have water, nothing. So it can throw you for a loop. But flip side of that coin, of course, there's always pros. Not only is, you know, the Philippines a beautiful tropical place with lots of beautiful, kind people, but you can also go to the pharmacy and talk to the pharmacists who are trained. I don't know if they know as much as the doctors, but you tell them what's wrong with you, and they can tell you exactly what medicine the doctor would prescribe to you in most cases that I've ran into. I'm not sure if this is true for all pharmacists, but it seems to be the case that I've ran into. And this was the crazy part. I was able to get amoxicillin right over the counter here. I don't know if you can do that in the US, to be honest with you. I know I've heard. I remember my kids taking amoxicillin for like ear infections or something when they were little. I've never taken it before, but I'm pretty sure you need a prescription in the US. Maybe not. You guys can tell me in the comments below. But I thought it was really cool that you could walk into the drugstore, tell them what you got going on, and actually get as many amoxicillins as you need. They gave me 7 days worth. You got to take three a day for 7 days, so it's 21 pills. So that's a 7-day cycle to get rid of whatever. And they told me straight up that it doesn't work for cold and flu symptoms. So I got some other medicine for that. And I'm not too keen on taking medicine, to be honest with you. But I'm glad I did. And that still is a pro. That's a pro, because if you do have some kind of ailment, or if you've had any kind of ongoing ailments that you maybe have reoccurring every year, like if you're somebody who gets strep throat or whatever, you may know what it is that you need to take to feel better. And I just about guarantee you they have the same thing here or the equivalent to that. The only difference is you won't need to go to a doctor to get a prescription. And if you do, in most places you can literally pay 500 pesos, 600 pesos, and maybe wait 20 minutes, go see a doctor, get a written prescription, and 1 hour be back at home with your prescription for whatever it is you may need. So that's a pro. And I guess I'll add in a few tips. I guess, like, even if you wasn't sick, but if you went through 2 days of no power, I would recommend anybody keep a a battery bank for your phone, if for no other reason, so you can play your phone games. If you don't have anything downloaded on your phone, like if you don't have any movies or anything like that, which I've never had downloaded on my phone, and I just found out that you could even do that. I mean, I knew that you could do that, but I didn't really never need to, so I never thought about it. But you can actually download like YouTube videos and movies and everything. It'll fill up your phone storage real quick. But staying here in the Philippines, if you've got a tablet or something like that, or a laptop, which most people that are coming from a Western country are going to have those things, it might be a good idea to have you a couple of your favorite movies downloaded, just in case, and a backup battery bank so you can watch those movies on your device. Because when they do the brownout, it's going to be for, I think it's a minimum of 8 hours. And God forbid you guys are sick like I was this go around. It could be the thing that makes you go buy a ticket, get the heck out of here. I don't want that for anybody. And that's why I'm making this video spur of the moment, because I was thinking, man, I'm always telling people, I'm trying to sell how positive it is in the Philippines, and it still is. But these are the things that, until this last 3 days, I had no way of bringing this part of it to light. Like when I first got here, I had my troubles. I was, the way that the things are unorganized and stuff like that. But I never really experienced being sick here, which turned out to, being sick's never a good thing, but it turned out to be a learning experience, if nothing else. If I was just sick and no brownout, that'd be a whole different story. But with the brownout on top of it, 2 days of no electricity and me being sick, oh my God. It just seemed like it made it that much worse. Big baby, man, big baby. I don't know. And I just wanted to touch base with you guys, let you know I'm still kicking. Ain't nothing happened to me, but I'm probably gonna need a few more days to lick this thing for good, because I got a headache just standing here talking to you guys. But for now, I'm out.